The Minneapolis Police Federation says Chief Brian O'Hara knew about an officer's controversial past and his history before that officer was hired. He is no longer on the force. Tyler Timberlake was hired in January, but questions arose surrounding his status after this video emerged of the officer putting a knee on an unarmed suspect at his prior job 3 years ago. He was acquitted of all charges. Investigative reporter Jonah Kaplan reports now on what we know about MPD's hiring process.
It's not easy to be a Minneapolis police officer, and it's not easy to become one, even if the department desperately needs more of them. Generally, recruits must pass extensive physical, medical, and psychological exams, written and oral tests, plus pass a background check. Applicants must also meet what are known as post standards, which means they've never been convicted of certain crimes. According to the city of Minneapolis, Tyler Timberlake joined MPD in January, so he must have checked every box. As of July 5th, however, Timberlake is no longer on the force. The abrupt departure coming just a few months after Chief Brian O'Hara called for an investigation into Timberlake's hiring, as videos surfaced showing Timberlake tasing and then kneeling on an unarmed man during his time as an officer in Fairfax, Virginia. The incident happening just days after George Floyd's murder. Timberlake was charged, but later acquitted of assault. City officials telling WCCO News on Friday the reason employees separate from the city are not public information. The police union, meanwhile, putting out this statement in Timberlake's defense. Chief O'Hara was in the final interview of Timberlake and was fully aware of his history. During his final interview, he was assured by Chief O'Hara he would be okay if he did good work. This is clearly not the case. By all Minnesota Post standards, nothing precludes Timberlake from being a peace officer in the state of Minnesota. Releasing an officer with nearly 1,800 hours of training, years of prior experience, and is qualified to work in the state of Minnesota seems counterproductive. We have filed several public records requests, including for the chief's calendar, but whatever the reason for Officer Timberlake's departure, we now have yet another job opening at the Minneapolis Police Department, one of about 140 for sworn officers. Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
Chief O'Hara declined our request for an interview, and a spokesperson said the chief had no further comment. Union leaders also would not go on camera.